Nate, our first son, was born in 1982. He was such a cute baby, we considered him to be an actor. There is this photo of him as a little blonde, blue-eyed boy holding a soda can that could have been a commercial. These days, it would have been a carrot juice, though. Nate had trouble going to sleep at night, but we found out a 20-minute ride on the freeway would put him down. I spent many nights on the freeway. Now there were 3 kids, and 2 of them were stepkids to Lydia. Pretty soon that became an issue, and there was drama once again. Nate was born in July, and my father passed away in September of the same year of liver cancer. My mother had a void in her life, so she was willing to take the girls into her house. The marriage was shaky, so I was commuting between 2 houses 20 miles apart. These were turbulent times in my personal life. The choices I made got me into these situations, but at the time it was all okay, although difficult. This back and forth lifestyle went on for a while. I would spend the night with Mom and the girls, and then the other nights with Lydia and Nate. In 1987, another boy snuck into the picture, and we called him Michael. From an early age, he showed defiance toward any kind of authority. There was an incident where he told off a cop that was when he was only 4 or 5 years old. Matt and I went on a great adventure in 2014. I meant Michael was born, so Matt is Michael. Matt is Michael, and Michael is Matt. So Matt is he was born. He told off the cops. So Matt and I went on a great adventure in 2014, which I will discuss later. Soon after Matt was born, the marriage with Lydia dissolved completely. I moved in with my mother and the girls permanently. All during these times of turbulence, I was part of the Eckankar group. This actually gave me a certain perspective that helped me get through it all. My last marriage came out of this spiritual path. I would go to the satsang study classes, and in one of them I met an attractive Asian-looking woman. This was Natalie, soon to be my 3rd and last wife. My living arrangements remained mobile as I spent time in her apartment as well as still living with my mom and the girls. We had a good rapport and still do to this day. I started to get involved in more and more of the Eckankar activities because she was active herself. Paul Twitchell started Eckankar in 1965 as a way to help transition people from the old religious and spiritual paths into a new way of looking at things. Eckes believed that what he taught was the end-all reality. What it did was to lay the groundwork for what Dwayne the Great Writer is presenting. Paul didn't reveal everything because people were not ready, and even now, very few Eckists understand what he was hinting at and what Dwayne is presenting. It has become a dumbed down and passive system ever since Darwin Gross and Harold Klemp took over. The knowledge is there, but the student must activate his or her real awareness by contributing. Going to classes and seminars or being a teacher or missionary won't cut it. One has to contribute by playing off what the new sessions bring. What once was and how it was presented is past history. Life is always new now, and it's up to us to keep up with it. I don't know if I would have been able to recognize what Dwayne is presenting without those 40 years of study in Eckankar. As it came to be, an Ekist friend invited me to one of Dwayne's Skype meetings near the end of 2014. I came on to see what Dwayne had to say. My first impression was that he might have been another mini-master copying Eckankar like many of the offshoots, such as Vardankar, Messiah, The Way of Truth, and others. But after singing the NUUU sound that was recommended and coming on the Skype the next day, I saw the value in what was being presented. Rebzar Tars told Dwayne he would be the greatest architect ever. And it is so true that as Dwayne is presenting something so unique, yet so simple and real that most people overlook it. Who is this nice-looking lady with Dwayne? I have a picture here. Something like this, as far as I know, has never happened before. Ava was chosen and agreed to be in the position Dwayne is in as a real universal guide. They work for hours in the physical, creating wonderful images that reference the true reality. There is nothing like it out there. These images are unique, fun, and point the way to more awareness. She assists others on the real side along with the other universal guides. 2 months before I joined Dwayne, I had been on a 5-month backpacking trip with Matt. I saw this trip as a clearing a lot of cobwebs from my attitudes and preparing the way for assisting with Dwayne's presentation. This is a post I shared with some of the hiking groups I'm involved with. Preparing for the unknown. Of course, you can't prepare for the unknown because how can you prepare for something you don't know? Long-distance hikers can do all the necessary preparations like getting the best gear, planning supply points, training hikes, setting up your financial situation, watching and reading about others' experiences, and all the other little things necessary for being away for weeks or months. These are mainly add-ons to what you already know or have heard. What about what you don't know? The unknown. In boot camp, they address by beating you down to your core, so you become one focus, a fighting machine. The trail will do the same. It will beat you down to your core. Instead of more add-ons, try letting go of preconceived notions, attitudes, and ideas. Lighten your pack weight, but also lighten your attitudes. Practice preparing for the unknown by letting go. Step out of yourself and be now. This is a metaphor for the journey we are on. In order to recognize the true reality, we must let go of everything that binds us. We restrict ourselves by our agreements and attachments. We still have these things, but are able to let them go when they no longer serve us. If we keep them, then we are conscious of our decision. The third day into the Pacific Crest Trail hike, my son and I came upon a small mountain town called Mount Laguna. The first 3 days of our tenderfoot hike had already been an adventure. The night before, our tent collapsed in a snowstorm. Other hikers along the trail would kind of look at the size of my pack and give me a grin or shake of the head. I was carrying way too much, and my pack was way too heavy, at around 40 pounds. There was a little sports and supply store located in Mount Laguna, and hikers would suggest I go there for a shakedown. What's a shakedown? In this case, it's where you go through every item of your pack with a knowledgeable person and either get rid of it or exchange it with a lighter version of the item. The owner of the store was an ex-Navy SEAL, and he knew what he was doing. Between the two of us, my son and I sent home 18 pounds of unnecessary items. We purchased more lightweight items, but the cost was well worth it, as we had a lot of hiking ahead of us and it made it much easier. The real guides are like the Navy SEAL who, item by item, guide you through your stuff. We carry so many ideas, considerations, attitudes, desires, memories, attachments, and influences that it is hard to see ourselves objectively. The process of waking up is about facing your creations or letting them be a way to compare them to the true reality that just is. They can serve you, but must not control you. Most people take their creations as reality instead of what they are, just references. What Dwayne and the real guides are presenting are references, not realities. These references are the best thing around these days to point one out of this matrix prison. I shared my hike by sending 8 trail updates to family and friends. I've included them here so you can get an idea what I was going through. And I'll share those the next upcoming part, which will be part, see, this is part 5, so that'll be part 6. So that's it for today.